The music is the theme of the Snowbirds. In days of yore, before Canadians thrilled at the formation flying of the Snowbirds in their Tudors, even before the Golden Hawks in their Sabres, they thrilled to 418 Squadron in their Mitchells. Especially on Sundays when television was brand new, and every time a Mitchell circled the municipal airport, the television picture broke up. Here the Mitchells are bringing some thrills to residents of Manitoba. Please don't adjust your television set. Most of the film from Rivers Summer Camp was black and white. Before departure, there was intense preparation in the 418 hangar on Kingsway. There's Sergeant Cran. And there's LAC Butch, the squadron mascot. He's part collie and he's part folly. The previous summer, he won the Camp Blooper Trophy at Summerside for issuing a challenge to a Prince Edward Island skunk. But he's here, outside the hangar, among the people and equipment waiting for flying boxcars of 435 Squadron to taxi across the field and begin the airlift. The Mitchells arrive at Rivers and take the flight line with Mitchells of 406 Squadron of Saskatoon. 418 aircraft display an early attempt at a squadron crest, a knight's helmet. They're named for characters in Lil Abner. 406 craft are named for historic forts of the fur trade. Into the briefing room. And here's one of the good types, Flight Lieutenant Huey Elliott, regular force support pilot with 418. He's conducting briefing for the squadron's pilots, navigators, and radio operators. No white-haired boys in this bunch. The exercise will likely involve all air components of Tactical Air Command, 406 and 418 reserve squadrons, and the Tactical Fighter Flight, a regular force unit of 4 T-33 jets based at Rivers. The Mitchells you're about to see take off may well be headed for a low-level attack on Camp Shiloh. Just as we figured, the raid is on Shiloh. Back to the briefing room, and here's Wing Commander Johnny Flint with Group Captain Al Lowe. And here's 418's Brown connection, Captain Roy Compston. A stockbroker and Army reservist in Edmonton, is the squadron's pipeline to the Army. Basic practice for the tactical role is low-level machine gun action against ground targets. Here, Flying Officer Sid Wood is out in Mitchell 279 to make strafing runs. Sid is a lawyer who will become Squadron CO 11 years later, just in time to be known as Colonel. 418 aircraft are now designated by the letters HO. That's because crews are honest about their achievements. There's only one thing more honest than a 418 pilot: the camera never lies. These are Cinegun films. The camera rolls when the pilot's thumb is on the firing button. Here's the view of Flying Officer Gar Langford, a regular force pilot with 418. Gar is in Mitchell 149. 418 has 12 Mitchells, though not always 12 serviceable. Here's Manitoba from the left-hand seat of 312 with Flying Officer Bob Bryce, another of the younger breed of post-war pilots. Tactical Air Command has its critics. Some say it isn't much use. But an Edmonton City policeman disagrees with the critics. Investigating an incident on Air Force property at the municipal airport, he reports a break-in at Practical Air Command. Coming back down to earth, here's LAC Butch ready to go to work. On parade, the sergeant has just called Shepticki. Frank Shepticki is one of the post-war ground crew, trained with 3054 Technical Training Unit and 418. He and his sidekick Dukelski will form one of the squadron's dynamic duos. Anyone will tell you, whenever the call came, Duke and Shep would answer. Here go the armorers preparing to load Mitchells with 250-pound practice bombs and machine gun belts for live firing. Here's LAC Butch again going for a ride. But it's such a nice day, he decides to get off and walk and run faster and faster. He runs till he gets airborne. This exercise is called a dummy drop, a source of much humor, all totally predictable. First out the front hatch, wheels up. Then down the hatch at the rear, wheels down. And here's a popular camp exercise, a cross-country back to Edmonton for a weekend at home. Home to 418 and also the Grey Cup. At camp, everyone is sprucing up for the AOC's parade. Corporal Gibson, the photographer, is helping with a laundry on the side. The AOC has arrived at Rivers. There's his Dakota. And there's the AOC, Air Commodore Sheldon Coleman, Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, a very early member of the RCAF. And there are the squadrons. Here comes the fly past. And here comes the march past. 418 Squadron is led by Wing Commander Jack Campbell. LAC Butch is excused the parade. Of course, he's excused a lot of things. And here's 418 in its true colors again for the final moments of Rivers 1956. Later that year will come the Suez Crisis. In the mess one night, 2 pilots of 418 Squadron will fire off a telegram to the British High Commissioner in Ottawa, offering to form a Maple Leaf Squadron to fight in Egypt. The High Commissioner will decline, but will appreciate the spirit in which the offer was made. This brew was reconstituted from archive film by Tony Cashman and Monty Stout. This is Doug Morton, putting the bung back in the barrel.